Hello everyone. So in this video, we are going to discuss certain doubts. Few days ago, I asked that what are the problems you people are facing in your exam preparation. So in this video, we are going to discuss your doubts and some solutions for that. Now let's start. So first is from Gunsagar, that how to stay motivated during this exam process and what are the issues and how to overcome it. And then there is a similar doubt by Pallavi that especially when results are awaited, you feel that you should study for next stage. That means for main stage, if your results of prelims are awaited, still you don't. So how to get rid of it and how to tackle this problem? Okay, let me give you one example. Suppose my weight is 95 kg and I just want to look fit. I want to show my six-pack abs and I want to have 65 kg weight. What should I do? I will have to work out on regular basis. I will have to stop eating junk and I will have to make sure that I am consistent. If I'm not consistent, suppose for 7 days I did proper workout sessions and then after that I started eating junk food again. Will that help me in achieving my goal of six-pack abs? Certainly not. So, is it possible that I can watch motivation videos and get motivated on regular basis? Well, the answer is no. This term motivation is overhyped. Let me explain you why. See, no one can motivate you externally. One day you are going to watch a video, you will feel motivated, you are going to study for 7 hours. Next day, that motivation is gone. So, do not focus on motivation, focus on consistency, focus on discipline. Train your mind to be disciplined. If you have to study 2 hours, that means you have to study. However, in certain circumstances, suppose you are not feeling that you should study something new, then spend some time with family or revise your previous content which you have already studied or make your own notes. That means something related to this process. Plus, make sure that you stay away from social media. Why so? See, on social media, people portray their fake life. Why I'm saying fake? Because most of the time you will see that people are posting their happy pictures and all. So, your friends and people in your circle might be posting pictures of their vacation. On the other hand, you are still stuck in the ministries of Poshan Abhiyan and the Ministry of Payjal Sarvekshan. I mean, you are still revising those issues. You don't know the difference between central sector scheme or centrally sponsored scheme. So, you feel demotivated that see what I am doing and what my other friends are doing. So, that's why it is better to stay away from this social media. Instead of that, if you have this much time, spend that time with family because they are the one who are worried about you. So, spend some time with them. This will help you to stay on track. So the answer is simple. Do not rely on motivation. Rely on discipline. Plus, please make sure that you have a scheduled routine. Your half of the problems will be over with this scheduled routine. What does that mean? Make a routine that you have to wake up say at 6 a.m. or if you are studying in night, then you can wake up late, say 9 a.m. But make sure that you repeat the same timing on a regular basis. So after that, you will see a significant change in your lifestyle. So focus on consistency, focus on discipline, and focus on a routine. Spend time with family, exercise on regular basis, and stay away from negative people. Okay, enough of Bol Bachchan. Now, next doubt is related to interview stays. That apart from having knowledge about regular aspects like optional subject, hobbies, preferences, graduation subject, and locality, what other aspect should be focused on? How you can develop your personality? See, in examination like state PCS and examinations which are conducted by UPSC, they expect you to be a balanced person. They expect you to be open to ideas. So, if you are preparing for the interviews of these or for any other interview for that matter, please focus on 4 aspects. A, your thought process. Suppose in exam, that means in interview, if they ask you, should India talk with Pakistan? So if you say yes, you should have specific reasons for that. If you say no, you should have specific reasons for that. Again, you should be able to justify what you are saying. B, you should be able to speak properly. That means you should be able to speak confidently. So these are 2 major aspects. This one is related to your thought process. This one is related to your communication skills. And in thought process, please make sure that you should not be prejudiced and you should be open to ideas. Okay, let me ask you one simple question. How to increase the labor force participation ratio or how to prevent child labor. Please make sure that whatever suggestions you are going to give, it should be pragmatic. That means it should be practical. Why I said so? Now, just consider a scenario. Suppose a child is working at some tea shop. Now, the father of child is alcoholic, and therefore the child is the only source of income of that home. So, child is the main source of income for that family. And this child is working at a tea shop. You got to know about it. What you are going to do? If you are going to take any action against this tea shop owner, then this child will be jobless and he won't be able to feed his family. But if you are not going to take any action, this is a violation of law. So what should be done in this scenario? So when you are preparing for interview, just make sure you focus on these two aspects. A, your thought process. B, your communication skills. Next doubt is related to current affairs coverage. Whether we should cover current affairs on month basis or we should cover them regularly. See, when you are covering something on daily basis, suppose today we discussed that Joe Biden became the new president of USA, and on his first day he decided to rejoin Paris deal. Now when we are going to discuss it, if you are following these events on regular basis, you would know that Paris deal is related to UNFCCC and it was signed during COP21. What is COP21? It is Conference of Parties number 21. This held in Paris, and this time COP26 is going to happen and it is going to be in Glasgow. Now, since these events are covered on regular basis, automatically they are stored in your subconscious mind. You need not to remember this information deliberately because this information is repeated again and again, so it is automatically stored in your subconscious mind. But if you are going to read it once in a month, that means if you are going to cover current affairs through monthly videos only instead of daily videos, then that will be information overload on your brain and your brain will not be able to process this much information. This is similar to a regular scenario. Suppose I am 65 kg and I want to be of 95 kg. Can I eat entire month's food on one day and gain weight? No, that's not practically possible. When you are doing it on daily basis, then these events are reinforcing in your brain. So, if possible, please try to make sure that you cover current affairs on daily basis. However, suppose you are doing some job or because of any other issue, you are not able to do it on daily basis. Then please try to finish it at the end of the week. If you are going to cover on monthly basis, chances are that you are going to forget a lot of information. So please try to cover it on daily basis. If not possible, then try to cover it at the end of week. Next is related to the content on GKToday website or magazine or content in the videos. See, the content will differ. There is a reason for that. Suppose we just discussed the previous COP21 scenario. Now, when it is written, then obviously it will explain about COP21 only. But when I am making a video, that means when I am giving a lecture, then I can connect it to say COP25, which held last year and it held in Spain. Capital of Spain is Madrid. It held under the presidency of Chile government. COP26 is going to happen in Glasgow. It is in UK. UK is the host of G7 summit this year. UK was also in news because of D10 group. UK was also in news because of vaccine summit. So you see, with one event, you can connect n number of events, and this is how your brain will start processing the information in a simplified manner. So the main content in the videos as well as on website is same. Main content means suppose there's a content about COP21. So be it video or be it website, the main aspects or key highlights are going to be same, but this interconnection between the events will be available in videos because that's how it should be. So that's why even if you cover it from website or you cover it from videos, the main content is going to be same. The only difference is this interlinking. Next doubt is related to memory, that we study a lot, then we study a lot, but we are not able to remember this much information. Or after every week, you are not able to recall what you have studied in last 1 week. Or you are not able to remember the numbers or any factual thing. Or you are not able to retain this much information. So what should be done? Okay, let me just give you one example. Suppose you purchased a new bike. It's amazing bike with amazing mileage. Now, you took 1 liter petrol from your petrol pump. Now just tell me one thing. After this 1 liter, that means after the consumption of this 1 liter, are you going to refuel your bike or not? Definitely yes, because this 1 liter cannot be used lifetime. after the consumption of this 1 liter, you will have to refuel it. Same is the case with your memory. See, this is the graph. This is known as the memory curve or the forgetting curve. What does that mean? Suppose you studied something today. So now you studied it, therefore you remember it 100%. But say after 1 day, you will remember it 80%. And after 3 days, you will remember it only 60%. So that is why when you read something today, after a few days, you tend to forget it. So what should be done in this scenario? Like your bike, when your fuel is over, you visit the petrol pump and you refuel it. Similarly, when you have studied something today, you will have to refuel it. That means you will have to revise it. So suppose you studied today something, then after say 3 days, you will have to revise it. So since you have studied it earlier, the revision is not going to take much time. Plus, you are revising it very frequently, therefore it will be retained for longer period of time. So if you are not able to recall something or if you are not able to retain something, the only solution is frequent revision. Now there are different tricks of revision like spaced repetition or flashcards or how to make proper notes for revision and how to use technology for revision. So if you want to know more about it, please write down in the comment box and I will try to make one more video specifically related to revision. Next is related to GKToday app and the content on videos. So the doubt of Saurabh is that whether he should make notes of the news or events that are discussed in the video or he should study through the app only. See, it depends on your convenience. If you are able to study properly from app, then obviously you need not to make notes because that content is already provided in a notes format and that is provided for those students who do not have much time. So the content is provided in a simplified manner. Now, how you should do it? See, first thing first, watch a video. Suppose you covered the current affairs of 20th of February. Today, you watched it. Now, do not try to attempt the quiz on that same day. After 1 day or say after 2 days, open your GKToday Academy app and visit the quiz of this 20th February and try to attempt the quiz. In that quiz, you will find 20 questions. So, if you are able to answer at least 16, that means if your score is at least 80%, then you are on right track. But if you are not able to answer them properly or you are confused, then A, you need to focus on this video properly. B, you need to focus on those questions which were wrong. That means which you attempted wrong. So just take a pen, take a paper and just write in one line. Suppose there is a question about PM Swanidhi scheme. So it is a scheme by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The nodal authority is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and the implementing authority is SIDBI. As per the scheme, the loan will be provided to the street vendors. Recently, Housing Affairs Ministry collaborated with Zomato for the scheme and recently Uttar Pradesh was the top state in terms of beneficiaries of the scheme as per the latest data of January 2021. So these are the potential questions. Now, if you were unable to attempt a question about PM Swanidhi scheme, then just write down this much information and you will see that within 1 week, there's huge change in your confidence because of this note making process. See, when you are writing something on your own, at that point of time, your brain start processing information in a very different way. So what should be your routine process? Watch video. Even if you do not want to watch video, that's okay. You can skip this one. Just try to attempt the questions in quiz and try to write down those questions or those areas which you attempted wrong. Now you will have a paper or notes. If you are making notes from these videos, please make sure it should be crisp and short. That means one paper for one video, one page for one video. You should not write down the connectors. Just write down the important point and try to revise it frequently. Now, a few days ago, a student sent me the screenshot of his notebook. This itself shows that how your efforts will improve your score. See, this is Navriti initiative. It was launched by Prime Minister and it is a certification course of construction technology. This much is enough. Now, since the person has written it in his own handwriting, so at the time of revision, it will be very, very easy for that person to revise it. Next is related to CoVShield. So it was developed by Serum Institute of India. Next is related to Digital Payment Index. So base year is 2018 and it was launched by RBI. Similarly, you can see this innovative way of covering state-based information. So Goa was in news because of this film festival. What is the full form of IUC? That is interconnect usage charges. So this is how you can make notes, but make sure that you keep it crisp and short. One page for one day. That will be more than enough. Next doubt is related to SSC. That we are preparing for this SSC examination, whether these current affairs are useful for us or not, whether we should cover each and everything that is mentioned in this current affairs series or we should skip something. See, for the sake of convenience, I am categorizing the examinations in 3 different categories. One is banking examinations, which are conducted frequently. Another is SSC examinations or any other examination which is conducted after a gap of say 1 year. And then there is a third category of state PCS or examinations which are conducted by UPSC. Now, in our current affairs series, we discuss a lot of MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding. We discuss a lot of information about banking sector. Suppose this bank, say SDFC started some new initiative or ICICI started some new initiative. So this information is not useful for SSC examination or for state PCS and UPSC, but this is useful for HDFC. However, if there is a MOU and it is a first of its kind MOU, then it is useful for SSC examination and for this category as well. Please note, if it is a initiative of first of its kind. Another aspect is that in banking sector, you have to cover events related to RBI. This is useful for SSC examination as well as for UPSC and state PCS. For example, RBI was in news because of different committees. RBI was in news because of Monetary Policy Committee. It was in news because of a committee to prevent digital frauds. It was in news because of a committee to strengthen the urban cooperative banks. It was in news because of PIDF, that is Payment Infrastructure Development Fund. It was in news because of DSIB, that is Domestic Systemically Important Banks. And what are these 3 banks? So these are SDFC, SBI and ICICI. Now, any news which is related to regulator, like in case of banking sector, RBI is the regulator. In case of securities market, SEBI is the regulator. So these broader aspects are important for all 3 categories. But if some news is related to death of any normal individual, normal in the sense that the person was some prominent personality, but he or she was not that much significant. So such news events are relevant for bank examinations, but these are not relevant for state PCS and for UPSC. Again, if that personality is related to your specific state, then obviously it is important. Suppose death of some personality related to West Bengal, then obviously it is going to be important for West Bengal PCS. So in case of SSC examinations and in case of state PCS and UPSC examination, again please note that in case of SSC, that means I am talking about SSC CGL. So in these 2 categories, you need to focus on the events which will have long-term impact or which are first of its kind. Next doubt is related to question, that how we should attempt questions. So 2 most common doubts. A, we studied properly but we are not able to attempt questions. Second doubt is that sometimes we commit mistake while attempting the question. That means even if we know the correct answer, we mark the incorrect answer because we are confused or because we are pressurized in the exam like situation. So what should be done? See, if you have studied something properly, even after that, if you are not able to attempt the questions correctly, that means you are not revising it properly. See, reading 10 books does not make any sense if you do not have time to revise it. Instead of that, read 1 book, revise it 10 times, at least you will be able to recall this much information in the examination hall. Problem is, we give too much focus to the reading, but we do not give enough emphasis on the revision. Please make sure that if you are studying for say 5 hours, give your 20% time to